All right, guys. So, all right, guys. Wait till a few folks get in here. If there's a few folks around. So, guys, for everybody that's in the chat, hey, Carol. Hey, Doug. Hey, Jaku. Gonna wait just a little bit longer, guys. I'm gonna be snobby like that. And hey, Small Fries, how you doing? Hey, I did want to thank everybody for the great birthday wishes for baby Luca. Hey, KK. Hey, Lisa. KK, I really appreciate you, sweetheart. Hey, Kelbo. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Marcia. Karen. Gulf Coast girl. Hey, sweetie. AB89. Gonna wait just here a little bit. Hey, Ninja. There you are. So, hey, Sharon. All right, guys. So, I want to do the chronological time breakdown of points that have been on the internet in regards to Classic and Sincere. This chronology is going to it's going to consist basically of the high points, or rather the low points, that have been online since the inception of this case. I'm going to click my camera on here in a minute, guys. I'm having a cigarette break, and I think that's probably why they keep flagging my videos or something. Hey, Cat's Eye. Hey, Majestic. Yeah, so, there's been a lot of hubbub in the past, I don't know, 70 some days. You got to laugh or you're going to cry about it, right? I felt like I needed to be able to, good evening, Queen, good evening. All of my moderators, you're good to go. We just want to kind of, how we want to keep it, guys. We want to keep it all the way. I'm going to put a couple of my moderators back in there. Okay. So, let me see. Kelbo, gotcha. Okay, so we got KK. I just do that sometimes, guys, just to kind of reset everything. And so I apologize. I sure hope nobody got their feelings hurt about just keeping everything secure, guys. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to come back on with the camera, and we'll get to it if you guys don't mind. Yeah, right here, look. Sorry. I heard him saying the ACs, and I was like, what am I hearing? Sorry, guys.
Where's the box?
The box. I took my wife's headphones on accident, guys. We're going to get this thing together here. That will be here.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Carol. Positive vibes only. Hey, Janet. All right, guys. Wow. So, one more time. Okay, guys. Now, as we all know, the boys, our beautiful boys, they disappeared on the 21st of December. Now, they were called in by their adoptive parents, Jacqueline and Trezell West, which we all know plenty about at this point. And so the call was made in that 5:45 time. There's been some confusion. I'm not here necessarily to nail down the timeline of when the call was made, rather just point out the other things that have went on. So we had the boys go missing on the 21st. Now, let me, before I do that, guys, if you want to get in the chat, and if you want to get in the chat, I encourage anyone to get in the chat. We want to keep it positive vibes only. This may take about an hour. I'd love to have, someone that's knowledgeable on the case to kind of bounce things off of. And if you don't, that's cool, because I got it. But again, the link to jump in the restream is on the description, guys. Okay, so we had the disappearance on December 21st, and all the hoopla that went along with that. Now we have a lot of footage to look at, in regards to that day. Now, December 21st is the day that everybody, went into action. You heard Jamie say that, there was volunteers and locals from the area that were just completely, saturating that area. Some of them searching all the way until the sun came up, only to take a break, refueled and go back at it. And so, not to mention that all the miles that have been walked by these people. I hope God bless all of you with more than you can stand for your works. So yeah, December 21st is when it all kind of kicked off. Now, we got the footage. Now, hold on. Let me step back. So yeah, okay. So the disappearance was on the 21st. Now, as we move forward in the timeline, we had some other things that took place. We had Jacqueline and Trezell. We had their initial unveiling, like the first time we get to take a glimpse at the people who everyone have villainized. Based a lot upon what they felt like his body language looked like in reference to Chris Watts. Just using things that they have available to make what they believe is an educated guess as to what Trezell and Jacqueline meant, or was it cryptic? We also know that on the 23rd, we had several of the neighbors that were out there. We had several of the Bio family there as well, kind of just all stacked in the yard. And you can see during the interview that a vehicle or two, don't quote me, passed during the interview. Now, subsequent to the 23rd, as far as Jacqueline and Trezell are concerned, we haven't heard anything more from them. Now, I'm also, guys, forgive me, I'm going to go in a fashion for folks that, potentially have just, kind of jumped into this thing and really don't know, what's going on. I get a lot of that. I was asked to do a video like this, catching people up to what was going on. So you've got the disappearance on the 21st, right, guys? We all know, we've all seen the 21st, and I'll get to some questions here in a minute, guys. I just kind of want to get partway through this thing. Disappearance 21st. We get the AP interview on the morning or the afternoon of the 23rd. Now, on that same day, there were other family members that made statements, whether it were prior or post to the adoptive parents interview. Now, what's interesting about the timeline popping up now is that there was an alleged sighting. This was per a lot of different people involved in the case. Initially, I was told it was a Walmart, and then I heard a Home Depot. But the alleged sighting was on December 23rd, which would have put that, around 2 days and some change or so from when they initially went missing, guys. Now, everybody keep in mind this December 21st date, because it's going to play back in here down the road. Hold on. Okay, right there. Okay, so we got the alleged sighting on the 23rd at Albertsons in Bakersfield. Okay, now that information surfaced on the 13th of January. That was now when I give you these dates, guys, these are source checked back to either the media or to very valid platforms in the media. So there could be a delay of some sort, one way or the other. So the alleged sighting, the very first sighting that happened, or that was reported on, rather. And as you guys noticed, after the alleged sighting on the 23rd that came out on the 13th, they really didn't talk anymore about sightings, not mainstream, not publicly. You haven't actually gotten one official to make any kind of comment about a sighting that has these sightings that have shook the community, right? Tehachapi Albertson sighting. Yeah, that's correct. Tehachapi. That's right. I'm sorry. Forgive me, guys. I've got a lot going in this thing here. Forgive me. Tehachapi. I said I said Bakersfield, and then I said Tehachapi after that. So Albertsons and Tehachapi. Now that piece of info surfaced on January 31st, or pardon me, 13th, guys. I'm having trouble. I'm gonna get this together. So the alleged sighting of the 23rd at the Albertsons popped up on or around January 13th. Now, what's interesting about that alleged sighting is that who came with that information actually was Bill Garcia. Bill Garcia comes on to the case January 10, guys. Okay, Mr. Garcia comes on January 10. That's kind of when you first got. That's when I should say you. That's when I got my first glimpse, really, of like the media hubbub, and that was when Garcia came on the 10th of January. Now, just days later, Garcia, there was some outlet, some social media outlet, in regards to Mr. Garcia either being, persuaded, dissuaded. I won't use the word threatened because, I feel like that threatened is probably what happened. Who am I kidding, guys? So Bill Garcia, good old Bill, he comes in on January 10th, threatened just days later, thus making his involvement in the case unclear. I'm familiar with where he stands one way or another, but that's not for me to talk about, guys. So now he comes in on the 10th, guys. Now that's stepping back in chronological order, because the sighting of the boys came out on the 13th, or roughly there on about. That 13th, January 13th day was pertaining to a sighting on the 23rd. Okay. Now we get the footage. The footage is first displayed, as far, is source checked as I could get it. This footage was moved over to YouTube on January 11th. This is the neighbor's footage. Okay, guys, January 11th, a day after Bill Garcia comes on the case. Tobacco break, guys. So now we are at the footage on the 11th. That's when we get the footage, right? So then if you jump back into chronological order, 2 days later on the 13th is when we get the alleged sighting from the 23rd, guys. Now, You skip ahead in time a little over a month. Now, that's only to say that there were statements made by law enforcement during that time. There were different things that popped up online that to me weren't necessarily, in between the 23rd and February 17th. You have Chief Walker making the foul play statement. You have this is kind of when Chief Walker kind of comes into his own as far as the media is concerned, right? Now, the boys are cited again on the 17th. That's when hard footage came out of a sighting at the Motel 6 in Bakersfield, guys. Now, it says in the description of said video where the sighting on Motel 6, it says that the boys were sighted the day before, which would make that the 17th. That's why I say they were sighted February 17th. The footage came out on the 18th, referring back a day, making that February 17th. Then, from the 17th to the 23rd, we have just the regular hubbub, the regular online slot, the onslaught, the regular, the regular jazz band happening, right? Then on the 23rd, another sighting. Now, guys, remember, we had a sighting in Bakersfield, which that sighting pretty much kind of went unaddressed. And so, I had a hard time personally, and a lot of you guys know how I've been following this thing. I had a hard time making the stretch back to Bakersfield to the motel because we had already been told about some bio family of some sort involved in the case that either worked there or, there was so many different, things that I heard. So I don't even really know about that. But what I do know is that this sighting footage was uploaded on the 18th of February, referring back in the description one day to the 17th. Okay. Janet Lynn, there is not video of the sighting per se. What there is footage of is the outside and the basically like a wiretapped conversation where you turn on your phone, put it in your pocket, and then go talk to somebody and get information without their prior consent, which in some states is illegal. Now, the boys sighting. Okay, guys. Second sighting number 2, comes out February 23rd. On, around, or about the 23rd, guys. Now, on the 23rd is when we got, it was the 22nd or the 23rd, guys. There was a call-in witness, and the call-in witness stated that she saw the boys, had a conversation about the boys. Cancer was mentioned. One of the boys' face and hands were swollen. So there were lots of calls made right after, on the cusp of the 22nd or the 23rd. I know myself and No Thanks, we both called and got different responses. And then that led, I know beautiful Miss KK, she made a call and made a contact with those folks. And so the sighting on the 20, hold on, guys. The information that came out on the 22nd or the 23rd was a alleged sighting reported on the 21st. Okay, guys. Now, why is the 21st important, guys? In the chat, I know there's a delay. right? Let me catch up to you. Why is the 21st? Why is a sighting on the 21st important? It's because that's the same day that they went missing, guys, right? So they go missing on the 21st, right? We're back to the 21st. We know all about all the information that's available on the 21st. Now, we get down to February 22nd or 23rd, and that's when, now, guys, that is almost 2 months, after the boys go missing. We get a report from a young lady. Got eyelash in them. Hold on. I'm getting barraged by calls right now. They don't want this out, guys. Hold on. Yeah, they don't want this out, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and do not disturb. Sorry, guys. I have this very, very well chronicled. So, okay. So on February 23rd, guys, we find out that they were sighted on the 21st, 4 hours away in San Jose. Now there was talk about the 21st being a court date for the West or someone for why they had to be in. Now they're still calling. What's up? Why? Hold on, guys. Yeah. Okay. 2 months later, we hear about it online, the sighting on the 21st. Now, why that's important on the 21st to be seen 4 hours away? I knew the exact. Hold on, guys. Let me do something about this, or I'm just not going to be able to. Let me just remove that. Yeah, there we go. I'm just getting barraged by calls, and man, that's sad. Okay, so that's really sad, guys. They don't want me to talk about that. All right, guys. So let me take a little break. I love all of y'all, man. Hold on. I love all of y'all. What I had to do was I had to look at this thing. I had to look at this thing all. That's what I had to do, because different times and places, everything happens so quickly online. You know, it was like to keep track of it chronologically. Shame on me, guys. I'm telling on myself that I haven't done this already, but I haven't, and I'm gonna admit it. I'm a dirty dog. I haven't done it, right? So, the 22nd or the 23rd, it's reported about a sighting on the 21st. Said eyewitness called the detective or the lead officer in Cal City, located in Kern County, alleging that she had to report the sighting twice, that she felt slighted, that the detective, the lead detective, scoffed her, at which time she, for whatever reason, that it wasn't reported then, and then she called a subsequent time. I don't know how long in between calls it was. Meanwhile, no matter what that time was, it was detriment, right? So now, what is interesting about the information that came out on the 22nd or the 23rd, it was a video that was a call-in about the 21st. It was retracted. Now, guys, for just a moment, let me talk about the retraction of things that seem very, very important at the time, right? It's a big piece of bait with a shiny hook on it, and we bite it. So let me tell you guys, when the San Jose thing was made to look so very, very credible, Doug knows, I really got bothered, guys, because now all of a sudden between Cal City, Bakersfield area, and now San Jose, San Jose is much closer to the ocean. It's much further away from Cal City, automatically by proxy creating a problem for me in the logistics, right? So if we're to think that, that this trip, hold on, guys. Now, so the sighting came out. Hold on, guys. The sighting came out on the 23rd, about the 21st. Meanwhile, all the footage we've seen of the 21st, we've never seen anything that showed us that they moved around, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, right? So we never saw any movement like that. Now, in regards to San Jose, I was told that they were there at opening or before. I've heard it insinuated that they slept in the van, which has not been confirmed, right next to the city hall, which did kind of start to solidify it back to being actual and factual if the West had a reason to be at that court, like they were said to be. Now, conveniently, there was nothing on the court calendar for the West, because if they were indeed truly there, I was told it was for a matter of a child, and that's family court, and you can't. So now back to retractions, guys. On or about the 25th, you see a retraction of the sighting video. Now, that became troublesome for me because all of a sudden I start to think, well, maybe that's so factual and actual that they, actually the law enforcement asked them to remove that because it potentially was exposing strategy or tactics or what have you. At that point, I still felt like news was viable for the most part, and so I still had the blinders on, guys. I was doing my own thing, but at the same time, I was blinded by the authorities in the web sleuthing, right? So on or about the 25th, the video is retracted. The other reason it made me upset, guys, was because now all of a sudden we have this logistical nightmare, between Cal City and San Jose, all very rural and unpopulated in portions of it, because I've heard a lot of theory that something must have had happened on the way back from San Jose to Cal City because the children never left the gate that night. The retraction of the video, it really bothered me because there wasn't any real rebuttal about the retraction of the video. It was just like, she everyone's trying to debunk it. She feels threatened, and meanwhile, people, I get it. I've been threatened, but I open myself up to this by doing this work. I get that comes with that. Now, I do understand that there's the idea that there's people out there that are very naive and inexperienced when it comes to the internet. And, I was taken by storm the first time, my information popped up online, and then it was like, I just told the wife, and then, we're safe. Right, so now the 23rd, okay, about 2 days later. So 24th, 25th, video is retracted. Okay. Now from the 25th to the 1st, it was all just kind of the regular BS, right? The stuff we all see, the fighting, the bickering. Now I'm not just saying that it only happens in these lulls, because guys, I see the trend in between things that are official business from the police. there's a lot of bickering in those gaps and those voids and those in that extra time. Us YouTubers, all of us are in there. We all fall into that riffraff, activity and the messing around and that talking about each other, and so it was relatively quiet as far as the case was concerned, until you wake up the morning of March 1st. Keep in mind, everybody, that February does not have 30 or 31 days. So, March 1st pops up, and a lot of us across the nation, California, Texas included, woke up to Bakersfield News 23, or Bakersfield 23 News, with an article saying that Bakersfield would be taking the lead. That was published, I believe it was at 8:35 on March 1st, my time. So let me stop here for a minute. Is everybody caught up? Armenian, not Hispanic. Yeah. Okay, guys, is everybody caught up to? I don't know. If somebody's cutting up, just like boot them, like take them all the way away. Okay. All right, guys. Please. You're welcome, Kat. KK, girl, you know I love you. Tell your husband he married a real one. Okay. How long is Mike? Guys, I'm not going to speak a lot about Mike and the compadres, just because, at this point it would be me bullying, and I have a line of communication with those guys, and we're just rolling with it. Caught up. Thank you, Kim B. They do have a lot of identities. I'd rather just put it in the chat. No, you know what? You guys just, go. You guys can get his name pretty easy. I apologize. I just, let's. I said it. Actually, I said it in one of my videos earlier, and so April. Hey, April. Doja. I apologize. Yeah, valid. Thank you, sweetheart. Because there was a minor in the video, they chose to take the comments away for his. There you go, April at the bottom. There you go, guys. Okay. So I know that the core team, the unit, everyone's caught up to Bakersfield taking the lead on March 1st, the morning of March 1st. So you could probably surmise that was sometime in February or the night before. They didn't just, quite naturally pop up and say, oh, I got a mosquito flying. Sorry guys, I think I sucked that mosquito in. Okay, I didn't. Yeah. Okay, guys, so everyone's caught up to Bakersfield. Now, let me also add, I forgot this footnote, that on the 11th, when we received the footage, is also when we received the narration about the shopping trip, which has come into much debate, speculation, argument, and downright war. Did all 6 kids get into the van, or did they not? were 2 kids being held. We got this information on January 11th, which again, guys, everything we've gotten in this case, none of it has been real time. It's all been very much delayed. Some almost 2 months. The sighting in San Jose was delayed, 2 months. So the 11th is where we get the footage from the neighbor, which is in regards to the disappearance on the night or the early evening of January 11th, and the Bakersfield shopping trip, where we've heard such narratives as other kids were taken to grandparents, so on and so forth. We all know the narration. Everybody with me? Guys, I will be creating a membership tier for different people that are serious in this community and all of the crime community. And it's going to be a community where we take over web sleuthing and we police it up in a way that not me, the police, but the organization will police up the riffraff and make it a safe place to investigate. Okay, where are we at, guys? Shopping trip info originally came from the neighbor, Kim. High uprising. Sweetheart, I got 6 jobs. I don't get tired. So, Bakersfield takes the lead, guys. March 1. Shortly after taking such lead, we come to March 5th. Okay. March 5th is the day Doug thought he was going to meet someone about a lead and then go to Cal City Police Department. Now, what also is important about the day of March 5th, now, hold on, let me step back, guys. From March 1st to March 5th, regular online drama, regular BS, trying to expose this, trying to expose that, trying to shut down channels, whatever, right? March, 4 days, a real heavy campaigning, like it's Vietnam online, right? March 1 to March 5, right? March 5, whoa. The night of March 4, someone thought it would be cute to put up some signs and desecrate the West home before they've been brought to trial and before the children have been found or anyone has went to the criminal phase or the phase of this thing, right? So the night of the 4th, someone, and then we find out 2 days ago, which I know I'm jumping around, guys. So March 5, this thing with Doug happens. March 4th, the night before, the contraband goes up. The desecration of the Grail to the boys gets defiled. Now, that same afternoon, after Doug has exited Aspen, another platform goes live. Okay? Now, when this platform goes live, in the background, you hear the owner of another platform stating that there have been 3 arrests made in Bakersfield related to, no, I'm not going to say related, 3 alleged arrests. It was caught on the live. March 5, the afternoon, late afternoon of March 5. Okay. Now, what's funny about the alleged arrests was that the alleged arrest then tumbled into the rumor mill, and it came out that it was on the scanner and that it was three arrests of the West. Then it turned into Wanda West is in custody. Then it turned into Wanda West was not in custody, but being held for questioning by the feds in Bakersfield. At this time, on the morning of the 6th, it was also said that Miss Wanda West confirmed that she was at her home on Potomac. No online statement or correction made in the alerting of the community that 3 alleged arrests had been made. You guys with me? Hey, Kathy, you're so beautiful. I want to be like you when I grow up. 3 alleged arrests, March 5. Okay? March. Now, I'm going to jump ahead in the narrative, and you guys are with me. I'm going to jump ahead from March 5, guys, to March 7, when Miss Perla Shaheen decided that she would pick up the activity on Aspen and promote it as a good cause. Okay. Now, what happened during that time was that Perla, she made some mistakes. She talked to some folks, and she confirmed that the neighbor Mike was the one that was good for defiling that and desecrating the house, which I thought was interesting, that when you go to KGET News and you listen, or not listen, rather, you read the comments below, it is all about Doug. Doug's this, Doug's that. Nothing about the people that desecrated the house. We also heard really tough talk from Chief Walker in the beginning when said YouTuber jumped the fence and he wanted to make a public statement. All trespassers will be jailed. No questions asked. The house is off limits, right? Adam McCarter, God bless you. You are now officially part of the unit. Now, again, let me add that the alleged arrest then streamed a lot of nonsense in this community, which is still, I still have people today coming up to me and asking me if or who or when 3 people were arrested in Bakersfield. Okay? Now, jump ahead 2 days. Perla Shaheen makes a shameful, shameless, tasteless story on Doug. Meanwhile, side note, that weekend, hold on, guys. I don't want to F this up. I'm going to go to my calendar because I want to know what day. How do I find my calendar, man? That day. Somebody tell me, please, what day was the day Ryan Dean was reported partying? That was the Friday of, what day was that, guys? Hold on. Why can't I find my calendar? This is insane. Calendar. Somebody put it up there, please. What was... Thank you, Kathy. The 5th. Yes, the 5th was Friday. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. The 5th was Friday, I believe, guys, and the 6th was Saturday. I believe the party was one of those 2 days. Don't quote me. Now, it was alleged that Miss Dean on the 5th or the 6th went with a male friend, was dancing and or smoking marijuana. The party was then allegedly put on pause while they asked the young man to remove Miss Dean from the gathering. Now, again, I want to reiterate, guys, the alleged 3 arrests, there was no official online platform statement, retracting that and making good on said mistake, because I talked to the gentleman whose live it was on last Friday. Yes. The gentleman live it was on, and he confirmed that he thought that was a square way to deal with somebody, or unsquare way rather. No online statement or correction, guys. That's the thing that is synonymous with. Now, I'm going to show you guys what this looks like, and everything that I have highlighted or drawn around is very, very bad info for this case. Now, the reason that I'm writing over these things is so that they jump out at you and you see all of the bad things that have been happening in this community. No online statement or correction or official retraction other than just taking these videos down. Okay. Now, exactly. No online statement, no rebuttals, no, hey guys, I'm sorry I messed up. Nothing, none of that. None of that. Like, I make mistakes too. I've publicly apologized to Mike and Roy and told them that until something changed, that I was going to be forced to be, as a godly man, to be fair and stop bullying them, and be unbiased, as my mission statement, my mission goal when I started this was to remain unbiased. Now, this is a unbiased breakdown of all of it, to date. Other than the small minor occurrences that will pop up on the YouTube front, that campaign, I'm not going to go into who I have all of that. I have a very comprehensive chronological breakdown of this whole thing. I need to quit these cigarettes, but this stuff is just so amazing. Now, March 6th. March 6th would have been the Friday. March 6th was the day that several agencies, with upwards of 50 to 75 or 50 or 60 agents or personnel, went to East Pacheco and Cottonwood and did a search of some sort. Meanwhile, there were a lot of platforms, or not a lot of platforms, but there were some platforms out there covering the search, making sure that we were all very well aware of what was going on out there. That search, subsequently, there was no results. There was a lot of hubbub in the community about what that search may have entailed or been about, all speculative and with no avail. What could that have been, guys? That could have been a ping. That could have been a lead. We don't even know. That brings us to 2 days ago, guys, where I was told, or I was shown some sort of stuff about a movie deal, and some other stuff. Now, I'm not here to go into depth. Where you at? Why isn't she out? You know what, left undone? This YouTube is an impossible way, or it's an impossibility to find a way through here gracefully. the only way you can gracefully maneuver through YouTube is to kind of just ignore the comments, which becomes, very shallow. And I like to people, but there's just so much hate. And I had that stink on me too. And I'm really trying to turn a leaf and manifest something different for myself and for my followers and for those boys ultimately first, before all that other stuff. Guys, and it's so difficult. There's some platforms that I aligned with, and immediately, I can tell that these are relationships that will last for years and years to come, for as long as we all want to do this, and be successful at it, and that's the key. One of the things that I thought was very interesting, was that now on the day of the 6th, there was a search for Dane Elkins from LA. They searched some of the parks and some of the lower higher risk areas of Bakersfield, looking for a 23-time racquetball champion. And what I found strange was that with that search going on so close to the search for the boys, that we just didn't hear about it. Like, literally, it was so close. Like, and it what it did was it showed me something about the community that's really making sure that everyone is just up to date with all the lives out there. It shows, kind of just shows something different. I'm not going to say an adjective or any word about these people, but you guys get it. There's lots of other stuff going on, and the problem is that at this point nobody wants to venture on to other causes because they're unsure of that's a financial risk to cover something else. It really is. It's a financial risk, and there's just so many people that have become accustomed to living the way that they are now, and so many people that don't have the foresight or the insight of the foresight to know that always, wheels on the gravy train break and it shuts down. We've got the gamut of all the information, guys. Now again, some of this stuff isn't related to being bad stuff that I wanted you to see, but all these things right here, pardon my French, are all basically symptoms of the fuckery. Now you've got these red herrings that pop up, and they do the threatening. I mean, it's like every single person that's basically in Cal City, other than Jamie, I guess, is doing a lot of threatening. And I'm just confused as to why, there is a double standard, right? Because people that are out of state, we have time to more meticulously comb over and look at the faults of the people that don't live in Cal City. But it seems like it's the people that should be focused solely on the boys have a hard time doing that. It's all about creating traffic to a negative vibe about, let's just be real, guys, about me, right? Like, I dug the way I dug because nobody else had. I started an issue with Mike and them just to explore the angle, guys. I explored angles with a lot of different people involved with this case. And let me tell you what, I've never been threatened so many times in my life and had nothing happen ever. Like, I'm not from that place, right? Like I want to, I get online and still, like, I have, testosterone, and I want to argue with these YouTubers. And I'm like, you know what, man, I look a fool doing this. I look silly doing this, right? Because these people live there. They're the ones that should be handling this like it's their own children. And guess what, guys? Some of these people are handling it just like they handled their own children's stuff. right? So I'm going to take a moment right now, guys, to take some questions, guys. Um, how long this case started? Uprising, 21st. 21st of December. See, guys, it's just like that. People jump in right now and they don't know anything, and they go to the place that has the most views, not the most truth. And how do you decipher that? There ought to be a bar for truth on, like you have an average of truthful videos you put out, and that's, kind of your truth average, right? Leaving a lot of people way down where, the stuff gathers. Come on, guys. Yes, Marine Mama, that you got to have both. You got to have hate, and you got to have love. Or else, if there was too much of one thing, we'd have a pacifist world filled with lovers, and no one would want to have war. And if we didn't have that, then we'd have the other, and we'd have nothing but war, and there'd be nothing left. So there is absolutely a perfect balance every day. Something chipping away at the scale that holds the balance, guys. Like this thing. This thing is not reminiscent of how law enforcement handles stuff. This is reminiscent of a lot of criminals and a lot of dope heads all smashed together in the same case, right? Like I had to give my testimony. I had to give my sobriety testimony in this community. Thank you, Leandra. I had to give my thank you, sweetie. I had to Psalms 33. Verse 20 through 22, whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. Trust in the Lord forever, for the Lord God is an everlasting rock. Thank you, sweetie. That's it. Whose mind stays on me, trusts in me. So if someone is out there bashing me, guys, let me tell you, it's out of love. It's out of them trying to get my attention to bring them with me on the mission that we're all on right now. And guess what? There's no extra room. We've established what we needed to do. We don't need 20,000 views. I don't need 10,000 views. I need my core people that are here right now to stay with me, and let's fucking, pardon my French, let's solve some cases. Let's restore some faith, and let's restore some humanity, and let's bring back all the things that this nasty YouTube community is trying to destroy bit by bit by bit. They're not powerful enough to do it all at one time, so they have to chip away. They chip away. They chip away. They chip away. Get out of here. Get out of here. Miss Leandra, I love you. I've seen you in the chat several times. You are part of that core group, sweetie. I love all of y'all. Loyalty over likes. That's it. I don't care if I look like I got crazy analytics going on. Guess what? It's either because they love it or because they hate it. And if they hate it, they hate it because it's as close to the truth as it could be, right? Have you talked to Mike about the 20th or the 21st? Any movement? Now, guys, I have talked to them extensively about the video those 2 days. I have reached out and asked if we could please, as a community, to stop a lot of the things that have come into play based around the mechanics of seeing the video the way that we did, guys. If we would have seen it still and with the audio, we probably would have known exactly what was going on. I would assume, guys, on Mike and the other guys' behalf, when they made the footage reveal, that they took the audio. I want to believe they took the audio out so as they could not have to fight the live and questions or what have you. So it was just easy. That's what I want to believe, guys. It was just easier to not have to deal with the audio. Not knowing at that time that the way that things were worded, and the way there was no audio, and the way there was, the crazy fast forwarding and reverses, that it was going to be impossible for anyone to keep up. I've reached out and asked that if there was a potential way that we could get those 2 days in question, emailed or Google Drived or so. Um, I still haven't got confirmation on whether or not we're going to be able to obtain that. Um, but I'm working on it because I do truly believe in my heart that seeing that footage the way that those guys got to see it, to the rest of us, I'm sure Mike, I'm not putting words in Mike's mouth, but I want to believe that Mike has a pretty good idea about what's going on over there. I've talked to Mike and I understand their family dynamic and their family history more, or not Mike, Roy, I'm sorry. But I've been talking to both through Roy. So, there's a lot of confirmations of things that they gave me that I won't even discuss here. That's their personal business. And, because I've formed a line of a conduit with these guys, a relationship, so to speak, I want to keep some of their information quiet because let's look at this thing, man. We're deep into the 70s now and we're just finding out, real names about people and this and that. So that lets you know it's a progressive deal. There was just so much information available at day one. All of this was available day one. We're just now thumbing through it. So you got to imagine how law enforcement is just thumbing through this thing as well. They have thousands less thumbs than we, tens of thousands less thumbs available than we do, guys. I want to tell you that they're way ahead of us on the tech, but as far as digging through all of, the fugazi leads and the very viable leads, there becomes a haze, right? I've seen that. Mike, not Mike, pardon me. Doug got caught up in that haze as well when someone at this point in the game says, "Hey, we've got some potential information that could, draw this thing to a close. Let's meet up and make the transfer." That haze of wanting it to be over clouded, all of our judgments, even the other people, that were involved as well. All of us were suspect that day. In the respects that we all could have behaved much better, and we should have behaved much better. That's right, Adam. The truth will set you free. It has no choice, guys. God is right every time. He's infinity and he's never lost. He's kind of like the internet, right? Folks, don't come out here thinking you can whip this internet, right? That's the people involved in the case, myself included. Let's not think for a minute that because we hit that delete button that somebody hasn't already snatched all that up and it's available widespread. You need to, when you post things, guys, you need to think in terms of that. When you make a post, it doesn't matter how quick you are, somebody's already got it. I'm to the point now, guys, where this is not an achievement or a graduation to the big leagues. Like, I can't even stay up with my family, this case, and then try to report people that are using my name or my face or my likeness in a bad light, or defamating my character. I can't do all that and then take care of my son and then answer the good people in the comments that are like my day one folks. There just is not enough arms or hours in the day, guys. And so that's where I say that I want to keep my situation, as tight as I can. I want to keep my situation, like my circle. I want my circle to be like this big right here, right? Like a dot, right? Like, I don't want to have to worry about, we saw it a little bit in the Discord. It's like, another big platform sent some people over to get in our public Discord to, scream, snap things like, guys, let me tell you, this is not an Easter egg hunt. This is not a scavenger hunt. This is not a deep cavernous pit that needs to be explored. This is a tragedy involving two little boys, and I too have been. I've played in the poison, but guess what? Like this consistent playing with the community.
the community posts over there on those big channels, guys, guess what? If your people can't see you pulling down sightings and doing all this crazy stuff, and they still want to come over here and bother me but not subscribe, guess what? I don't feel bad at all blocking them, because I have almost a photographic memory at this point, as far as the names associated to the little circle profile pictures. Like, I'm almost a genius with that now, guys. So I'm able to keep a lot of this stuff at a minimum just by myself. Not only that, but there's just so very minimal of the actual movement of the that crazy right wing thing that's over there doing all that stuff. They're all clicked up. Like, that stuff is so far removed from me that I get very little ripple over here. Like, very little. Like, I've told enough people now, like, hey, if those guys are clowning about me or Doug over there, like, please be respectful to yourself and don't be that messenger, right? Let's be messengers about something positive, whether it be a testimony of God, or witnessing to an alcoholic or an addict that still suffers, guys. Like, just use your voice for something positive. And with a lot of that, guys, I'm going to leave you. I wish they would send me a link. Autumn, we don't actually have an official new Discord. It's that one is just kind of there, but what kind of happened is the core good people we just removed, so as to protect them from being whatever, right? Having a moment where you turn your head in the Discord and say something that would be safe, or you think it's safe in there. Like, nowhere is safe online, sweetie. Especially associated with the other right-wing platforms. As long as you're on this case, guys, you're going to be threatened. Let me tell you what, guys, when I first walked into this thing, I was like, you know what? These guys telling me they're getting threatened. This is the biggest load of sardines I've ever heard. About day 7 or 8, boy, they came in. Now guess what? I got to rearrange the way that I got YouTuber problems now, guys. Like, I got to turn my phone off so that nobody can block my live stream. Like, 2 channels got 2 white supremacist channels. One is the very first 2 letters of the alphabet. The other one is an old professional washed up wrestler or something. These 2 guys, I caught them on this page doing all this white supremacy talk, and now they're over here messing with me. And it's like, people don't see the white supremacy guys. Like, they want to talk about Doug, but guess what? Like, Doug's over here looking for 2 African-American boys. I'm here looking for 2 African-American boys. The other white supremacists that I got introduced to today, they are not looking for the boys. In fact, all they do is they look for channels like me and Doug and the other guys to have a blunder, so that they can pull viewers from our community, the crime community, over into the filth. Objectively, guys, expose you to white supremacist propaganda, guys. That's what they did to me. That's what they did to me today. Okay? You guys know who I'm talking about, right? First 2 letters of the alphabet, balanced up, and then the amateur wrestler guy, right? White supremacist to the hardcore. Like, okay, my stuff's, they're reporting me right now, guys. White supremacists in real life, looking for these boys, they say, but meanwhile, all they're doing is they're clicking up with other groups that are, involved in the criminality, cryptically, you know what I'm saying, online. It's white supremacy. It is white supremacy at its finest, hidden online, so that people can be exposed to it and pulled over and get entertained by it, they think. Let me tell you what. I talked to a real KKK guy for about 2 seconds online today, until I found out he was a KKK guy. And then he started pulling out sex toys and all these other things, and I'm like, whoa. And meanwhile, this other guy who is all over our community making videos about the good guys with cameras out here making our, trying to make the thing happen, all they want to do is post the trollism. I get it, guys. But guess what? After tonight, the two of you, I will not respond to the two of you active white supremacists that are actively on here trying to recruit people over to your live chats and indoctrinate them with the hate medicine. Guess what, guys? In the name of God, I rebuke you. I rebuke white supremacy in the name of God. In the name of God. Anyways, guys, I have went on and on and on tonight, but I felt like I needed to profile a couple of racists that are on the fringe calling themselves looking for these two black boys, but meanwhile are texting me all kind of racial slurs because they want me to put it up to the camera and show you guys so they can slap my videos down, guys. These guys are dropping the hard ERs, guys. A whole bunch of these guys involved in this, guys. Dropping the hard ERs, okay? And let me tell you what, guys. It isn't Doug, okay? Let me tell you. If you're friends with someone who does use hard ER and you're over at their house and you're getting the footage from them, that makes you a supporter of someone that uses the hard ER. That's true. Guys, let me tell you what. The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. My Cash App is pinned to the top. If you want to mess with it, don't. If you don't, that's cool too. I love all of you. God bless. Rebuke the devil. In Jesus' powerful name, I pray.